Playful circles that are symbols of joy, femininity, and timeless whimsy. The polka dot is the spot that never stands still. Welcome, Winsome Ones. My name is Heather, and today we are starting a 5-part series on patterns. I don't wear a lot of patterns, but the patterns that I do have are a regular feature and help me express my personal style. So today we are starting with polka dots. Now, I really see myself as a style researcher, and I have done a little bit of research on the history of the polka dot. So before we get started today, let's have a look at the story of the polka dot. The story of the polka dot. Once dismissed as childlike or quaint, the polka dot has danced through centuries of fashion, from courtship rituals to couture runways. Today, it's not merely a pattern, but a punctuation mark of personality. They began as whispers on fabric, tiny circles echoing the rhythm of a dance. Born of movement and mirth, the polka dot has twirled through time with grace and whimsy. The term polka dot emerged in the mid-19th century, inspired by the lively polka dance that swept across Europe. The circular motion of the dance mirrored the playful repetition of the dots, a visual echo of joy. In medieval Europe, dotted patterns were shunned, feared for their resemblance to disease markings like smallpox. Yet in Japan, the ancient shibori dyeing technique embraced dots centuries earlier, tying fabric before dyeing to create organic, ethereal patterns. The dot is repetition with intention, a symbol of joy, femininity, and rebellion in disguise. With the invention of the sewing machine in the 1800s, symmetrical mass-produced patterns became possible, giving polka dots their first true fashion moment. From the flounce of a 1950s tea dress to the crisp geometry of a modern silk blouse, polka dots remind us that style can be both playful and profound. Today, I invite you to discover the dot, not as a relic, but as a punctuation mark in your personal story. Polka dots are no longer confined to vintage aesthetics. Today, they are used to add dimension to minimalist outfits, contrast with structured tailoring, evoke nostalgia in modern silhouettes. Polka dots continue to carry connotations of joy, femininity, and individuality, making them ideal for age-inclusive styling that celebrates personality over passing trends. So, I have got 8 outfits to show you now, so let's start with what I'm wearing. This dress is actually from Q, and I found it in an op shop, so it was such a wonderful find. And I really enjoy it immensely. It's a gorgeous 1950s type of design, A-line skirt. It's really good for summer. It's sleeveless and it goes just above the knee. So it's just nice and fresh, but it's modest enough as well. I really like these Whitner shoes. They are fantastic and they're tonal. They really fit in well, both with the style as well. And then another great op shop find, I found this bag in an op shop and it just seems to fit with the design. This second look here is from Portman's. I was fortunate enough to find this at the DFO, the direct factory outlet, and it was a fraction of the retail price. And I don't know why it wasn't a real hit with people, but this is just magnificent. I just really love everything about this dress. It's got the puffed sleeves. It's obviously got the polka dot. It's a really flattering shape. It's a nice length and there's a little bit of a flare. It's just magnificent. So I've paired it with these white cross-strap Mary Janes that are from Alan Pincus, and I actually got them in a consignment store. They are just wonderful. And then my Rebecca Minkoff white backpack with the black trim. And this is a wonderful bag because it can be worn as a backpack. Anyway, it's polka dots today. So I really like this look. Polka dots just really seem to belong in summer. I think there's a playful, fun aspect to polka dots that just seems to be synonymous with summer. When I first wore this dress, I actually got 3 compliments from teenage girls. I was in a shopping centre and they came up to me separately and complimented me on the dress. So I just thought, wow, if the young girls are liking it, it must really be resonating with them. And I don't think I look like mutton dressed up as lamb. It's just that this really speaks to the timelessness and the agelessness of polka dots. So this is a really gorgeous dress and it was very cheap. It was really affordable. And yet I have worn it so much and it is just such an awesome summer dress. It's modest. It's actually a little bit cute. I really like the straps because then I just feel really quite secure. And I like the spacing of the polka dots as well. And then of course I've got my backpack, so I can just pop it here and off I go. But before I go, let me get my next outfit. Now I know that if you're a purist about polka dots, you would say this is not a polka dot, but it's close enough. It does actually have a similarity to polka dots. And I really love this top. I love a shirred top. I love puffed sleeves. And I really like the simplicity of this. I think it really gives it a feminine edge. And wearing it like this, it could be quite formal. It's really quite put together. What I like about this as well is the polka dot is not the whole outfit. It's just a section of it. So if you're new to polka dots or you're a little bit shy about them, just getting one piece can really help you to dip your toe in, and then you don't have to get a whole outfit. You can then use what you've already got in your wardrobe. The challenge that I do find with all of this is matching the whites. As you can see with this rail, we're ranging from white to ecru. So that can be a little bit of a challenge, but I find that if you've got enough of the basics where you can mix and match, like if you've got trousers that are in 3 or 4 different shades of white to ecru, that usually does help you to be able to match it with the right accessories and other pieces. So I really like this outfit. It's really quite fun. It's got a little bit of polka dot without going over the top. Once again, polka dots in one place. So what I really like about these trousers is that they are loose fitting and they're quite free flowing. They have a gorgeous movement to them. They were originally really long, like even to the ground. And when I looked at them, I didn't like the fact that the polka dots were taking up the entire lower half. They were even covering my shoe. And I thought, being so long, it really restricts my options because then I'm required to wear high heels with them all the time. And then the shoe will be covered up. And it just seemed to overtake. So what I thought I would do was just crop the length, and then that way I can see the shoe, which I really like my shoes. And then this way it doesn't take over the whole lower half of the outfit. And I really do think that that was the right decision. I find when you go crop length, you can afford to just have a little bit of a wider leg. And because these already wear wide leg, it really suited them. And then I found this wonderful singlet from River Island. So it's white with a black trim, which just seemed to go really well with the polka dots. So I put everything together and I'm really happy with the results. This bag goes beautifully with these shoes, even though they are from different places. So the bag is Rebecca Minkoff and these mules are River Island. I got them a few years ago and I'm not kidding, they are the best thing I've ever bought. Well, I say that a lot, one of the best things I've ever bought. It was a good decision, put it that way. They are probably about 50 cents per wear by now. I've only got one pair of mules and this is it, but they're magnificent. They really are. And particularly here with this tonality, with the crispness and the starkness of the black and white, it just really seems to tie everything together. But I'm really happy with this outfit. I just think it looks so fresh and fun. Wonderful. This is such a divinely elegant look. This is actually a silk skirt, and when I saw it, it was on sale. I got it for less than a third of the retail price. And I thought, being silk, it's just going to feel beautiful and it's going to last. And it is just magnificent. It makes it a lot more formal because it is so long, but I can live with that. It just flows so beautifully. I can't even begin to tell you. It's just the magic of silk. So what I've done is I've just kept everything else really simple. This top here really sort of like makes it a little bit more casual. And the shoes, I could even wear it with sneakers if I wanted to. It does drag on the ground, so that's probably something I'm going to have to be a little bit aware of. Or just grow a few extra inches, which is probably not going to happen by now. But isn't it just gorgeous? Very happy. All I did was change the bottom half, and it just gives it a completely different vibe. I found these shorts in Zara, Singapore. And because Singapore has got a tropical climate, the clothes in the shops are just suited to that environment 365 days of the year. So you have a lot of amazing finds like this. I just really like these shorts. They are just so gorgeous. They flow. Not quite the same as the silk, but the flow is just gorgeous. They're a tiny little bit low-waisted, so I am going to have to deal with that. But I really like the generosity of the polka dots. It really makes it fun. And because it is just restricted to this lower half, it's not taking over the whole outfit. But I really like these shorts. They've actually got pockets as well. And I think I'm going to have a lot of fun wearing these in summer. Okay, last look. Once again, for those of you who are purists, I know that this is strictly not a polka dot, but it's close enough to. It's got the vibe. So if you really are new to polka dots and you're really not sure if it's for you, a good thing to do is just to get a little neckerchief, just a little accessory, or even a hair bow, or a pair of shoes, or a belt, just something really little. So I do hope that you have enjoyed looking at my 8 polka dot outfits, and I certainly hope that you will join me next week, and we're going to be looking at stripes. And I can assure you we will be looking at stripes that are classic, elegant and fun. Please like and subscribe and click on all notifications.